Hello! So this is just a bit of a catch-up on some of my favourite dance-related releases that I've picked up recently. But yeah, I've sort of been saving all these and messing around with this playlist for a couple of months now, really, to the point of, it's up to like 400 views and there's only me been listening to it. But I mean, in fairness, I've been adding things and getting rid of stuff when I'm not feeling it quite as much as when I first picked up the record. So yeah, what I'm left with now is like, all winners, as I've said many times before. But genuinely, I love every track here. So I think there's 19 tracks on the playlist. There's 17 records. It's probably a 50-50 singles and LPs. Some of the LPs are reissues, a couple of more familiar things. Plenty of the singles, didn't know the artist until I picked up the record. Most of the singles are probably, not all of them, but most of them I got from Vinyl Fix in Leeds, which I've mentioned before. It's got the second room where everything's cheap and all 12 inches are a quid. I've bought loads more things than this and a lot of stuff I won't be keeping, but yeah, these ones make it all worthwhile. This one I picked up more recently, actually. This isn't from Vinyl Fix, but I got this on the strength of the label Melodic. This is from 2003. It's like a six track EP. The artist is Psapp, P-S-A-P-P. Wasn't familiar with them. But yeah, it's quite sort of gentle and folky. Female vocal and sort of delicate instrumentation, but then sort of with a sort of experimental electronic sound as the backing, really. But I mean, not all the tracks are fully formed or like have a traditional song structure, but there's a few on here that are winners. Infrared is the one that I've put on the playlist. That was on YouTube. There was another one, Pocket, I really liked, but I might record that and put that up there. But yeah, I've been enjoying that quite a bit. Love this. This was new to me. I just looked this up on Discogs, and someone had left a comment saying how much they enjoyed this record. Basically, because of the spoken word sample, which is some kid from Yorkshire in the 50s or 60s describing his experience of being on holiday somewhere in the UK. And honestly, it just amuses me every time. I just hope it's a genuine, archive recording that they found and used, and it's not been sort of recreated anyway. But I can't imagine anyone go to the trouble of recreating something like that. But yeah, I love this. It's from 2000, so it's got that sort of sound from around that time. I'd say it's sort of probably influenced by Lemon Jelly and other things like that around then. But yeah, it's sort of got a bit of a retro sound because. Yeah, it's sort of like a little bit clunky and like sort of like bleeps and, reminded me of like early 80s sort of computer game sounds and things like that. But I mean, the whole thing really works. I mean, it's a for nothing record. It's like probably £2 median. This is Hard Candy, Summer of 95. So this is a single from 2002 from their debut LP. I might have one other single by them later on, but I don't really know them. From Brighton. Yeah, a lot of these first ones have got that sort of, late 90s, early 2000s sort of down tempo, sort of lazy beats maybe, but with instrumentation and a bit more going on, the sort of thing that I like. And yeah, this definitely falls into that bracket. This one's a bit different. So this is Juhani. This is an LP from 2008. He's from Finland. This has got a bit more of an experimental sort of sound to it, but it's still sort of, I don't know, it's beats and bleeps basically. B Moolah is the track that I was most into, so I've put that on there. But yeah, I mean, this was £8, got that on Todmorden Market, I think. Is that Robin's writing? I'm not sure. Fila Brasilia, this is from 2002. 2001. I think the album was out in 2002. Jump Leads, which this single's taken from. So yeah, the album version's the one that I've gone for. Like UK duo, they did loads of things. I think I might have had that album, Jump Leads, actually on CD, but not anymore. A lot of things got purged. Fragment Orchestra, didn't know these. They did one album in 2002, I think. This single's from 2002. The album didn't have a vinyl release, so there's just two 12-inch singles that you can get on record, obviously, and so makes them worth having. This track, Sunlight, is absolutely majestic. It's just got this real cinematic feel to it, and yeah, I rate this really highly. That's a price from way back. I'm fairly certain this was £1, and it's worth £2 or £3. But yeah, musically, it's a gem. This is Owen. This is like a mini LP. I think there's 7 tracks there. Yeah. He's from the Netherlands. I think still done stuff fairly recently. Again, this is another really, really cheap record. Like, I think the Discogs median's under £3, and there's loads to enjoy on here. I don't know, like a lazy comparison. I mean, Boards of Canada and Fortet. I imagine he was listening to things like that. So this is a compilation, Ambient Auras. This was in my want list actually, and then it turned up at, I think it was Covers 33, had it in the Discogs, so I just happened to notice, so I grabbed it when I was there. Diverse dimensions in ambient dub. So I mean, you can probably see there's not that many familiar names on there, but there's the Dust Brothers, that's the Chemical Brothers, Aphex Twin. So it's sort of it's early 90s, and it's the sort of ambient or melodic sort of end of techno at the time. And honestly, I could have picked any number of tracks from this. It's a double LP. But yeah, I've put 3 on there because I've just been listening to these constantly. So there's Aphex Twin on, Torture and Coma, Happiness, and Biosphere, Baby Interface. And they're all brilliant. They're all different, obviously, but yeah, work together definitely. This is CJ Boland. Electronic Highway. This is his album from '95. This is on R&S. So loads on here. That's great. It's the track Neck Plus Ultra, which is a bit of an odyssey, really. It's getting on for 10 minutes long. It's on these custom labels. So yeah, this was a cheap single, so I just picked this up because I noticed it said Holden Edits. So the artist is Kate Wax, and Echoes and the Light is the single, and then this is a 12-inch single with 2 versions by James Holden. So I really like James Holden, so I thought, I'm just gonna I'll take a chance on this, and it's excellent. It turns out she's a Swiss artist. This is on Border Community. You can just about make that out there, which is James Holden's label. He produced her album that this single's taken from. 2011. So yeah, I mean, he's sort of known more recently for his sort of more experimental and analog synth sort of sound, and yeah, these edits have definitely got a lot of that about them, and yeah, absolutely worth picking up. So it made me go back to this album actually, which was one that I got at the time, because this is James Holden and the Animal Spirits. So this is from 2017. So this is on Border Community. So I mean, I've seen James Holden live a few times, but the first time was when they toured this, which was a bit wild, to be honest. And this album is wild. That's the only way to describe it, because it's basically him making some fairly sort of challenging but really compelling noise with his various analog synths, and then it's got a variety of musicians playing alongside him, playing acoustic and percussive instruments. So you got cornet and saxophone, percussion, various other things, and so yeah, that was all performed live, and yeah, I absolutely loved it. So yeah, the track "Pass Through the Fire" is the one that I've put on there, and yeah, I mean that's the standout. But I mean, this gets a lot of quite a lot of positive comments on Discogs, I've noticed. So this is Dave Angel, Free Flow. This is on R&S as well. So this is classics. I think I've had this on the shelf for probably about a year, because I think I picked this up when I was in Scotland 12 months ago, I think. So yeah, this is a 2LP. I think it's a compilation of things put out in sort of 92, 93. So he's a UK techno artist. Yeah, so Free Flow is the track that I've put on there. Like I say, it's on R&S, but it's got these custom labels again. Yeah, this was a bit of a find, really. This was from Vinyl Fix. So this is an unofficial repress of this release, True Blood Rhythm of Life EP, which was originally out in 92, and it's 6 tracks, so it's like a mini LP or EP, and it's I mean, this is early 90s rave, basically. But yeah, this isn't an authorised reissue, seemingly. This was out in 2006, so it's not for sale on Discogs, hence why it was in the second room. But it just sounds like a normal record, and the original goes for like 45 quid or something. So yeah, this was well worth picking up. The track "Do That" is the standout. There's another "Your Love," which is a version of the Prodigy tune, just with a female vocal. So yeah, really pleased to get that. Was absolutely over the moon to get this. So this is Research, Day by Day Psych Magic mix. So this was a track that I was really familiar with, because I downloaded loads of Psych Magic mixes 10 years ago or more now, probably. And some of them are fairly desirable to get the records now, but this one isn't. But I mean, still for £1, it's a steal. But yeah, I mean, I think the Discogs median's about £5, which is probably why it ended up in the second room. So delighted with that. So yeah, this is not a reissue actually. This is a new release by Ultramarine. But it's all sort of demos and unreleased material from 95 to 96 to 97. So yeah, it's all sort of sketches and sort of ideas and maybe not fully formed songs. And I think it's just the two of them in the studio. So it's all electronic. So, I mean, if you've never listened to Ultramarine, maybe it's not the best place to start. But if you like Ultramarine like I do, I'd say this is essential because there's loads of great stuff in it. Sunrise is probably my favourite, so I've put that on there. Do you know, I've just realised I've got a record missing. Yeah, so I mean that technically that's a new release, even though it's old. It's material that's just been sat around for ages. This was a repress, so this is Underworld, Dub No Bass with My Headman, which I think was out in '94. But yeah, I'd sort of been after this because I mean I really liked Underworld, still really like Underworld now. I did pick up an OG of this a few years ago, and I'm sure at the time the Discogs Medium was about 20 quid, and my copy was VG Plus, but it didn't sound great, so I got rid of it. Honestly, that was less than 10 years ago. I'm thinking maybe like a year or two before COVID. And I've just noticed that OGs of that are now 60 quid. So, I mean, this repress, which is immaculate, and the records are clean, and yeah, it's a decent pressing for 30 quid, seems pretty reasonable to me. Do you know, I pulled out my original CD that I had. Oh, here it is. So I was a bit late to this album. So I reckon I went to uni in '95 and everybody was raving about this. So I think if you're looking at the label there, I think I bought this early '96 and I think that was the price, £13.54. So to get a repress of the album 30 years later for double the price of the CD, that's probably just in line with inflation, isn't it? I mean, that was probably expensive back then, but I mean, you know, if you were buying CDs that weren't new release or in the charts, then often you'd pay a premium, wouldn't you, back then? So I bought this probably a few months before Second Toughest came out, hence why I paid full price. But yeah, I love this album. It was probably the last 4 tracks that I always used to get excited for, which was Dirty Epic, Cowgirl, River of Bass, which was a bit of a different sound to the rest of the album, and then ME, Mother Earth. So yeah, I've put that track, ME, on the playlist, but I'm sure most people are familiar with that. But yeah, I just included this as well. This was one that I've had for a while because it's another Sight Magic remix. And it sort of reminds me a little bit of that Underworld track, ME. So yeah, this is their remix of Night Flight by Quintus Project. This was released in 2011. And it's a remix or a re-edit of an 80s sort of new jazz fusion release from 87, I think, by Walter Quintus, and I think it was like a studio project under the name Quintus Project. And honestly, it's one of my favourite ever pieces of music, really. And yeah, I was just going to, I mean, it's not had loads of views on YouTube. But yeah, I just thought I'd read a few of the comments because it just sort of sums it up, really. This is without doubt one of the most beautiful music pieces I've ever heard in my life. This is a whole theme park of music. This song is fucking crazy. I've never listened to a song with such a crazy build-up. This is level God, OMG. A good friend of mine presented me this song a couple of months ago. I've been listening to it ever since. Insanely good track. Masterpiece, totally underrated. Very ethereal festival vibe. festival vibe. Love the piano and electro robo vocal mix. Utterly beautiful, pure magic. It's an awesome track. Yeah, I'm just trying to recommend this if you've never heard it before. It is amazing. At 14 minutes long, honestly, I would be happy with even more. Yeah, it's kind of how I feel about it, really. So that's on there as well, so you can check it out if you want. Cheers.